Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Power of Nutrition, how to optimize your diet. My name is Lizzie Zimmerman, and I'm here with HEARO, and I'm beyond excited to be presenting this workshop for you today. Jumping into today's agenda, we are going to be talking about how to implement a nutritious diet, what to look into with eating foods, how to make time within your schedule, and a couple more different little activities. Getting started, I wanted to give you some information about me and my journey. My name is, like I mentioned, Lizzie Zimmerman. I am a University of Washington food systems major. I use she, her pronouns, and I have a passion for nutrition and wellness. It started at a young age when I was diagnosed with chronic illnesses. And I found that through my own journey that what worked best for me was working on a healthy and nutritious diet that really improved the quality of my own life. It inspired me to work on my educational path within the nutritional sciences and wanting to work towards everybody having that access to health and nutritional services that they need. I wanted to give a little disclaimer that the purpose of my work is to assist people in making changes in their lives through support. The information that I provide and offer today is based on my life and work experience, and I acknowledge that I am not a licensed professional within the healthcare services, and my services do not replace the care of registered dietitians or any other healthcare providers. All right. Part one. So where do we start? There is so much information and resources on different types of diets, nutrition plans, what to eat. Where do we even start with our diets, and how do we create a better relationship with food? So have you ever bitten into one of your favorite foods and thought about what it actually is? What is it providing us? I believe understanding our food is the first important learning curve when changing our dietary habits. Learning what does our body actually need? So our food is made up of macro and micronutrients. What are macronutrients? So macronutrients are going to be these energy producing foods that we need in greater amounts, which include our fats, our protein, our carbohydrates. And then our micronutrients, which are mostly consistent of vitamins and minerals, are similarly essential, but only are absorbed in smaller trace quantities. So here on the board, you can see that I have the purpose of proteins, carbs, and fats. I'll quickly go over this. Proteins are often called the body's building blocks. They're used to build and repair tissues. Our carbohydrates are our body's main source of energy, usually like our fruits, vegetables, and whole grains. Fats, they're going to give us energy. They help absorb certain vitamins or essential fatty acids, help our body function, but they aren't made by our body. You have to consume those. And those includes like some fatty meats, like our steaks, our eggs, our seeds, nuts, olive oil, foods like that. On to the next slide. So what to look into with our nutrition outside of just our macronutrients and micronutrients. So when working towards sustainable nutritional goals, there are a couple of things that I would like to focus on that I believe are important as well. I was always looking into consuming whole foods, which whole foods, by that we mean they are not processed, refined, or have added ingredients into them. Focus on, like I said, the micronutrients and the nutritional value, like the macros and micros that I talked about above. Understanding our calories and our daily expenditure. How much food do we actually need to fuel our bodies? The labeling behind my food products. So what are my portions, the nutrients in that, the daily value percentages, my sugar intake. So you'd be surprised how often sugar is hidden in some of our favorite foods and often beverages. And of course, our water and hydration levels. So I threw already a lot at you, so I'm going to try and narrow this down a little bit more. I have 3 big tips with nutrition that I like to also focus on so I don't get too overwhelmed. So that's going to be balance, variety, and adequacy. Going on to the next slide, we're talking about balance here. What exactly is that? Balance is, I like to say, concentrating on whole foods that are beneficial to our health and avoiding those that could be harmful, and developing that stable, balanced relationship with food that is neither restrictive nor rigid, which is going to allow us to sustain that over time, rather than having that 0 to 100, I can't have this, and cutting off certain foods within our diet, and actually being able to enjoy our food. Variety. A good rule of thumb for this is balancing a healthy diet is to provide protein, carbohydrates, and fats with each meal, and they're going to be full of micronutrients. Adequacy. So for this one, assess if you are receiving all the necessary nutrients to maintain and replenish what is lost on a regularly weekly basis. This goes back to that daily expenditure and that calorie intake. It's very helpful to understand our proportion sizes, the labels, the number of calories needed, and listening to what your body really wants. There may be a reason why. This is going to help assist you develop those intuitive eating habits and eating style, which is understanding the appropriate amount of food required to maintain our optimum well-being without having to really like track it and be super precise and overthink things necessarily. 2, incorporating the food you love. So rather than going, like I said, 0 to 100 real quick, you can start making small changes into your diet. This can be small things like, today I'm not going to skip breakfast. I'm going to wake up, I'm going to have a good meal and try and fuel myself today. So a tip with incorporating the foods you love and balance of the diet, I like to say when approaching any type of change in your lifestyle, remember to focus also on the long-term goals. It's not going to be a quick fix approach. This is not a diet to follow. It's about building a better relationship with our food. Following a 30-day extreme diet is not going to be sustainable for a long period of time. Although extreme diets may yield extreme fast results, but it's not always what we think is the best. While in short term, they can move the needle on our scale, or they can make you look a little bit lean. In that short period of time, it can make you feel in the long term sluggish, moody, achy, set you up for metabolism problems if you're constantly doing those extreme diets, rebound, yo-yo diet, like weight gain, and it's developing not the best psychological relationship with food. Eating in moderation. So having a healthy relationship with food really allows you to eat in moderation while, like I said, enjoying those foods you enjoy. For me, I love French fries. So I have French fries every day, but instead of, going to McDonald's and getting those greasy, yucky French fries that have a lot of added preservatives that I don't necessarily need or want, I've incorporated like sweet potatoes, and I'll chop those up and prepare those and make French fries in my air fryer that I get that like nice crisp with a little bit of olive oil and drizzle. So finding like your favorite foods and creating alternatives in like a healthier way has been a way for me to eat in moderation, but also enjoy those foods that I love every single day. All right. So I often hear, I'm a very busy person. How do I make time in my schedule to prioritize my health and nutrition? So many of us have hectic schedules. We often lack time to sit down, have a proper meal. Some of these challenges include our time, our access, knowledge, previous habits, lack of sources, and a budget. As a student myself, I often rush through meals or forget even about eating. And these poor habits have led me in the past to feeling tired, increasing my stress levels, and not feeling my overall best. And through my own experiences, I've realized I can incorporate eating healthy habits with a restless agenda, essentially. And before we go over some tips, these were just some samples that I gave of ideas and things I often hear with obstacles getting in the way of like not enough time, lacking access to healthy foods, poor yo-yo diets, unable to know or make your health priority, and it costs too much, and unsure of really what's healthy and what's not. So for me, some of my favorite tips with eating well with a busy life is making a plan. And so that's exactly what I have here as an example on the board, is like a meal plan that I'll prepare for the week. So I know where to work around my schedule and know maybe something that I've been craving for that week. Putting a reminder, if you're a huge planner, in your schedule of, if you forget to eat, okay, I'm going to have a snack here, I'm going to eat here. So putting that a little reminder, and make sure to take breaks. Packing ahead and planning ahead is very important for me, and I know people who usually work or they're gone throughout the house every day, is packing your own snacks. So fruits, vegetables, nuts to eat through the day until you can really get that bigger, nutritious meal into you. I love apple slices with some almond butter, pretzels, or hummus and trail mix. And if you don't even have that time within a certain day or every day, and if you prefer eating out, you can find those healthier options. And I identify with ordering more of a nutrition option in a restaurant, choosing more vegetable dense dishes, ones that have whole grains or lean proteins, and can often just take from the restaurants, add various sides and be like, okay, I'm gonna have the salad, but can I add chicken to that? And kind of create your own balanced meal. Also, another thing is a lot of chain restaurants are now having to offer their nutritional information and calories that are within a menu. So that's something to look into as well. Budget. So this has been a huge one for me, because we always hear, okay, like, what about the price? Isn't healthy food very expensive? Learning to work around those increased prices for certain food it can be difficult, but it's definitely can be done. My favorite way to avoid some of these pricey grocery stores and the pricey grocery store receipt is looking into those weekly deals for shopping, buying in-season foods. So for example, buying strawberries out of season, like in the winter, will be definitely more expensive. Buying generic brands, oftentimes they're very similar, but they just have different labels. Cutting out expensive proteins, finding other protein sources, meats that are more pricey compared to carbohydrates that may have similar protein levels. It's not going to be as high, but it's going to be a little bit more affordable, and you can focus on that being a way you may get your protein that day. Buy only what you need on your grocery list. So I try and avoid going to the grocery store when I'm hungry, because I know if I see something that looks good in that moment, I will be like, oh, I need that. So if I plan out my meals that I want to make for the week and then plan out a grocery list, it will keep me to make sure that I go into the store, I know what to get, and then I don't need to buy other options outside of that. Cutting back on processed foods. So quick prepared snacks actually can be more expensive than foods that you may find in the produce aisle. And also produce that is going to be pre-chopped or pre-prepared or cooked up as well is also going to be a little bit more pricey. So just making some time to maybe dice those onions rather than have them pre-diced is going to be a little money saver. And then buy and cook in bulk. There's oftentimes deals on foods that come in bulk. It might restrict you from, having a lot of different variety within the week, but it's gonna definitely help you save some money. Right, and for the next slide, looking into resources, I want to make it clear that not everybody has the same amount of access to nutritional options. So if you're looking for more assistance or help and access to nutritional sources, there are many resources that you can look into, such as local food pantries, hot meal programs, community kitchens, SNAP programs, which are food assistance, food security grants. If you're a student, there's often like student food cooperatives. Farmers markets have been working, I know at least in Washington, with SNAP program directly. So you have a lot of that local organic sources that is affordable. Nutritionists that you can help understand what you need directly if you're having trouble. And then nutritional counseling as well. So that was my little quick summary of some nutritional tips of balance, adequacy, variety, time management and planning, local resources, eating in moderation, and asking for help. Summing this up, we can learn to really listen to our body, learn more about our food, plan out some of our meals, learn to make a balance in our routine to sustain that really healthy diet in the long term. So thank you once again for watching this quick, short little video. I have a lot of other resources that can help you understand this video a little bit more. Go to our HEARO's Instagram page at hearo.uw. We currently have released our newest Nutrition Basics PDF. This is going to include some worksheets, a meal planner guide, and grocery list, and break down more of labels and how to really assess those macros, micronutrients that we talked about. So definitely check that out. And if you have any questions, you can email me at ewz2@uw or follow me on Instagram at Lizzie Zim. Thank you so much. Have a great one.